Noah and the Museum of Tomorrow, a cozy cloud story. It was family day at the Museum of Tomorrow, and sunlight spilled through the tall glass windows like a golden invitation. Noah and his dad walked hand in hand through the bright marble hall. Everywhere they looked, tiny worlds were glowing behind glass. There were houses that caught sunshine on their roofs, buses that floated quietly on magnets, and gardens that grew right on top of city buildings. "This is what I do, buddy," his dad said proudly. "I help design buildings and parks so people can live and laugh and dream." Noah smiled up at him. He loved when Dad talked about his work. But just as they stepped into the next exhibit, his dad's phone buzzed. "Buzz, buzz." "Just a second, buddy," Dad said softly, stepping away to take the call. Noah wandered forward, his sneakers squeaking on the shiny floor. He stopped in front of a big round display, a model city under a glass dome. Tiny trains glided through the streets, and trees as small as buttons lined the sidewalks. Above it hung a sign that said, "What will you build for tomorrow?" Noah leaned closer. There, right in the middle of the city, was an empty space marked with a little card. "Your idea goes here." He stared at it for a long time. All around, other kids were showing their parents their own ideas. A flying bicycle, a floating zoo, a playground made of light. Noah's dad was still talking on the phone. He wasn't mad. He just looked tired, like his mind was somewhere else. A kind museum guide with a colorful scarf noticed Noah standing alone. She smiled and knelt beside him. "You look like a thinker," she said kindly. "What do you want to build for tomorrow?" Noah blinked. "I don't know," he said quietly. "I just wish my dad had more time to play." The guide tilted her head thoughtfully. "Well," she said, "then maybe that's what your tomorrow should look like." She handed him a small tray of craft pieces, popsicle sticks, string, and soft modeling clay. Noah began to build. He made 2 little wooden benches, then a tree, just a twist of green paper and glue. He added a tiny swing that could fit under the tree's shade. When he was done, he placed it carefully into the empty spot. The little swing swayed gently as if a breeze had come from nowhere. He wrote a small note on a piece of paper and set it beside the model. "Tomorrow, I want to build time with my dad." When his dad finally walked over, he froze. The city glowed under the glass, but right there in the middle. Noah's park shimmered brighter than all the rest. His dad crouched down beside him. His eyes softened. "That's the best design I've ever seen," he whispered. "I think it's time we start building it today." He turned off his phone and slipped it quietly into his pocket. Later, as they left the museum, the guide called out with a wink. "The Museum of Tomorrow thanks our youngest dreamers for reminding us what really matters." Outside, the air smelled like warm sunshine and cotton candy. Dad reached into his pocket and handed Noah a tiny charm, a small metal gear from one of the museum's model trains. It glowed softly in the light. "Something to remember today," Dad said. That night, back home, Noah sat at his desk, the gear beside his lamp. His dad came in with a smile. "Want to build something before bed?" he asked. Together, they built a park out of old building blocks. 2 benches, 1 tree, and a swing. They even made a little paper sign that said, "Our tomorrow." When the lights went out, the metal gear glowed faintly beside Noah's bed, casting tiny stars on his wall. Noah yawned and whispered, "Tomorrow's gonna be perfect." And as he drifted to sleep, the stars seemed to nod in agreement,